I finally saw Blue Beetle. You see, here's the thing. I waited a minute to go see the movie. I did. I waited almost a week and a half after the movie premiered to actually sit down and watch it. Because I was worried. I was worried they're going to fuck it up. I'll be honest with you. There was a lot of firsts in this movie. Leading live-action Latino character played by a Latino, directed by a Latino, un puertorriqueño también, un director de puertorriqueño. And I wanted to give it the best criticism that I can, but I had to have watched it a couple of times before fully being able to give the best criticism I possibly can. I liked the movie. I thought Blue Beetle was fun. I thought it was exciting at times. I really liked the message. And I like that they planted seeds for the future. This feels sort of like a reset for DC. I've talked in the past about how I felt that DC was lacking, most of us feeling like the movies were just cash grabs and they weren't giving homages to the actual character themselves. But this one felt like there was red material for Jaime, that there was a story that brought in lineage from actual Latino culture into it. I have been a Jaime Reyes fan for years already, way before Blue Beetle was even on Young Justice. I'm talking back even farther than Batman the Brave and the Bold. The animated series are always going to be the testing point for these things. I fell in love with that character from that day on, right? He was someone that kind of looked like me. He was someone that could embody me, potentially, right? Because I'm Latino and I talk a lot about being Latino, right? Besides being a great film to go see with family, by yourself, if you're a comic lover, if you want to understand who Blue Beetle is, if you want to get into that space and give it a try, right? But I felt like it was too much on the nose for one thing and just trying to do too much altogether. To be honest though, the seedlings for something was there, because a Miami Vice or a espionage-esque vibe for this character would be crazy. I feel that Blue Beetle can hold the movie on its own, and he did here, and I think for future installments he can as well. There is a fan base for Jaime Reyes. The story behind family and alienation and all of these complex concepts for Latino immigrant families, for immigrant families in total. And I get it. I get it. I love the scenery. I love the environments. Being in Puerto Rico, right? It was beautiful. Beautiful, all of it. But the message was just a little bit too much on the nose. I would have liked it a little more organically. That's an opinion, but it's still worth it to see that a Latino director is trying and succeeded in providing a message that he and the culture that surrounds that is trying to unveil, trying to succeed to build for not only themselves but their family. Family means all. And that was the beautiful moments of Blue Beetle, because they showed that message. And it wasn't only a superhero movie, it was a vehicle to explain that. The fight scenes were fantastic. I give it to it. A lot of the fight scenes were on point. And the suits, definitely homage to Injustice. Definitely looks like they went in and they saw the gameplay of his actual fighting style. This is a perfect representation of the character. It felt like they did their homework on the character. And that's what I fucked with. But the Scarab has way more personality than was shown, and agreeing with Jaime so early on kind of distracts me looking forward towards the Reach later on, because the Reach are a big part. They're the alien race that created the Scarab and the concept of it being a destructive force, and the Scarab's personality is supposed to kind of showcase that, being this being that wants to destroy and protect its host while having a main mission, but learning through dealing with Jaime that not everything is to destroy. And I didn't get that, because it learned very early on that it wasn't going to do that. The Scarab just felt too human too early on. I felt like that's something that you could have bridged later on, and you didn't do that, but that's okay. I'm worried that might have been something they could have explored later, but they did too much to get to there. Spoiler alert, Ted Kord being announced at the end of the movie does kind of hype it up to being that teacher moment, and I fucked with that heavy. All in all, I felt like as a DC reboot, as a DC reset, this is a good movie to start off. It's a good movie to start off. Do I think you should see it? Definitely.